So last year around this time I talked about the good old days about Dynasty Warriors Online. Well, today I want to talk about the bad stuff. And honestly, I just want to get this out of my system. So during my time, I experienced some horrible moments, such as major battles like campaigns, confront battles, lag, and at some point dealing with the community. When campaign battles were introduced, I thought it was going to be like fun, but at some point it became like, ugh, a waste of time. So let me explain. There were a few times that campaign battles took like a long time to finish, and it was crazy. I think one of them took a whole day to finish, like a whole day, no lie. The only reason it took that long, mostly because the game's population was like going down. When I witnessed that, it made campaign like less fun. And honestly, I kind of wish that they had put like a time limit to campaigns so that everyone wouldn't like waste their time. Throughout this game, I was never a fan of Confront Battles, mostly because of how you had to make OP builds, the way people treat you in the waiting room, and lag. I understand how OP builds are needed to win battles, but sometimes I wish they would at least balance it a bit. So for instance, I remember one time I was playing Confront and I came across a DN Way hand axe player, and that person like one hit killed me. I was super pissed about it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? It was not fun fighting that match. At some point, when you had to fight people who had those kind of strong builds, like you really had to be careful. You had to be careful of who you fight, and especially people with strong builds. Because if you don't, then of course you'll get like wrecked, destroyed, and at some point your teammates on your side will get super pissed with you. The waiting room. Oh my gosh, I hated the waiting room. Sometimes it took 5 or 10 minutes to get a match, but there were a few times it took longer than that. So my biggest pet peeve is when you have to wait, and once everyone is in the game, the leader of the room will probably message you and ask you to leave because they have a friend or guildmate standing by to play. Let me just say this right now, back in the day, I hated that shit with a passion. I really did. I always consider that as disrespectful. I'm like, why I had to waste my fucking time waiting? Somebody should have gave me a heads up before I even entered the room. And honestly, for shits and giggles, to be honest, I don't care if I don't care if you all laugh at me about this, but there were a few times I have like rage quit confront battles back in the day. I mean, let's be real, I'm not going to stay here and lie about it. It's true. It's damn true. Now, I just mentioned lag like 5 seconds ago. One of the worst experiences I had to deal with. 1 minute, you're doing okay, and then the next is either like you're fucking dead or you're getting fucking bite and you're just looking around and just say like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? Oh my gosh, like the servers were just terrible. I'll give an example. I would chase someone because they're like close to death, and then next thing you know, you're lagging behind. Either they have a bad connection or they're using the Alt4 technique, which was the most fucked up thing. Interacting with people in this game was fun. You meet new people, join guilds, build friendships over time, etc, etc. Oh happy day and all that. However, you have people who at the time act like they're too good to talk to you. There was this one person who I had talked to sometimes. I won't name names. I remember a former guild leader was doing farms for weapons and gems, and he invited the guy. He says hi to everyone except for me. So, knowing me, I somewhat felt a certain way at the time, but I was trying to be nice enough to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I waited like 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, he didn't say nothing. So I said hi to him, he said hi back, and I just said to myself like, How the fuck do you speak to everyone but not me? Like, seriously, fucking rude. I'm not the invisible man, for fuck's sake. A similar incident. The final months before the game actually ended, I followed a good friend to his old guild. The guild was strong, so we had showdowns. So we had like we had showdown events, like weekends, like every weekend or every other weekend. This one weekend we had it. I came in before we started going in groups. I'm sorry, join parties and all that, and I pretty much said like hi or good afternoon to the guild. Everyone kept talking. I said hi again. Nobody listened. And then my good friend had to chat the guild and tell them that I said hi, and then everybody stopped and said hi and hello. And after that, I personally DM'd the friend addressing the disrespect, and I also thank him for saying something. I always appreciate him being respectful and nice to me. I always do. Another crazy incident. Same guild, one of the guildmates, she changed her name one day. I probably logged in and I said hi to her. I didn't type in her new name. I typed in her old name. I said hi and then hi and then just add old name, of course. When I did that, she didn't like the fact I did that and got mad at me. In my mind, I'm thinking like, what is wrong with people? You really pissy at the fact that I called your old game username, but not the new one? I mean, at that time, I also changed my name too, but I sure as hell didn't get super pissed at the fact that someone typed in my own name. I have gotten people saying my old name. Oh, hi, such and such. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? At that point, I was just ready to leave the guild, and the only reason I didn't leave was, again, of course, my good friend. Otherwise, I would have left. But I will give some good credit when I say this. The guild did have some good people who tried to make me feel welcome, and for those people, if you are watching or you still remember me, thank you. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Last year, bringing up this game brought back good memories. It really did. However, I may be in the minority when I say this. I'm actually glad the game is dead. I know it's a shocker. I know some people's like, oh my gosh, really? Like I said, I do miss it, but I'm glad it's dead. The game has some potential, but over time it dropped. As I mentioned before, I noticed that the player base was declining, and the way Arena Games was handling the game was no help as well. In my opinion, they could have done a better job with it, like promoting it, marketing, and a few other stuff, how to convince people to stay. From my experience, sometimes the game felt like I was in fucking high school all over again. It felt like the popular kids talking to each other, and in a certain way, I really hated that. So I'll say this: if Koei Tecmo ever decides to make another Dynasty Warriors Online game similar to this, then I probably, this is what I just said, keyword, probably won't play it. They have to really convince me to play it. If they can't, oh well, move on. I said my piece. I am done. Good night.